Marty, thank you very much. Tomorrow, it is Earth Day, and you have some plans for that.
I do. I'll be out live downtown. Some people in the community and I are going to transform a part of Gibbs Street. We're going to make it a bit greener.
Oh, you'll be help creating it.
Creating it, yeah. So I'll show you what people in the Rochester area are doing to help the earth. Ask Marty. I said, what are you going to do to help out the earth? So I'm waiting on his answer.
Well, here's what Adam is doing to help out the earth. He got this environmentally friendly interview for us all about how and why to recycle a car battery. An expert with the Aftermarket told him about a resource to find out where to recycle in our area.
All right, Ray, we're talking batteries, but not just the battery itself, but how to get rid of it, how to recycle it, and it's easier than a lot of people think, it seems like.
Yeah, it's true. So today, more than 95% of automotive batteries actually do get recycled. And it's real easy when you go back to your local garage or even a retail store and you get your battery replaced. In most cases, they'll take that battery back and get it back into a company like ours hands, and we'll get it into our recycling network. The opportunity that exists is for those, call it the do-it-yourselfers out there, that maybe buy a battery, take it home. They may put that battery in their vehicle. It could be a battery, maybe they're getting ready for the spring season, lawn and garden or marine, and they're replacing a battery in those vehicles or applications, and now they're stuck with a battery sitting in their garage, and what do I do with it?
How long does a normal automotive battery last?
On average, we're looking at in the U.S. probably in the 5-year time period, 4 to 5 years, somewhere in that range. And so, what we're really trying to do is educate the population that there's about 1 million batteries that we believe go unrecycled each year in the U.S. And we think that's the opportunity, that we want to make sure that the public knows how easy it is to recycle batteries and what we do with them, and then how easy it is to get them back into the right hands in order to make sure they do get into the in our hands in order to recycle them.
What's the trouble with just throwing them away?
Well, number one, there's still a good use for the battery. Let's start there. I have a battery here, and actually 99% of this battery that's in your car today, if I can get it back in my hands, I can reuse that battery. I can recycle 99% of the materials that go into it. We'll take the plastics, we'll melt these back down, and we'll get them into kind of a raw material state where we can reuse them in the molding of new lids and new cases. Same for the metals that are inside of a battery. We can melt those back down, and we can reprocess those materials into new grids that go into the battery. Actually, the metal inside of a battery is the most highly recycled product or material in the world, much greater than plastic bottles, cardboard, or papers. And so, so number one, there's a use for it, and number two, there are some environmental concerns and issues that we want to avoid. We want to get them out of the landfills, and we want to get them out of your garage and get them back in to be reused and repurposed.
How do you know when it's time to recycle a battery? Is there usually some type of signal that goes off, or do you just wait until your car won't start anymore?
Yeah, in most cases, the indicator is your car doesn't start. So that's one. But as I mentioned, when you start thinking about lawn and garden and marine season, a lot of people want to get their boat ready, get their lawn and garden tractor ready for the season, and so they'll just proactively replace the battery to make sure they have no issues as they're going into the season. And so those are the batteries that we want to make sure we get our hands on as well. Like I say, most of them, so there is a population that they no longer start your vehicle, but there's also a population that are proactively replaced, and we want to make sure the consumers understand how to get those batteries back into our hands, back into collection centers in a proper, safe way.
Last question, does all this hold true for batteries that are in hybrid cars?
we're migrating in that direction, not necessarily at this point. When you think about a hybrid or electric vehicle, there are two different types of batteries in those kind of vehicles. There's still a traditional conventional battery that's used to start your car. And then there is the lithium-ion battery that is typically used for the hybrid mechanism or the electrification mechanism in your vehicle. If you have issues with those batteries or concerns, I would recommend that you take those back to your dealer and make sure that they're appropriately handled through that channel. The traditional conventional battery that's in your car, though, whether it's a hybrid or electric vehicle, can be handled in the traditional way of getting them recycled. And one of the things we've done to enable that is we've set up a website. It's called recyclingmybattery.com. Consumers can go in, plug in their zip code, and it will populate with recycling locations or collection centers that they can take their battery back to, and you can be assured that it'll get in our hands and we'll recycle those properly.
Ray, thank you for your time and the advice.
You're welcome. Thank you.